Okay. Um, Dear God, use me as you see fit. I'm a willing vessel. Here I am, Lord. Let my words encourage someone, anyone. This video is about how I came to know Christ, how I started my journey with him. It started about 20 years ago. I wasn't raised in church. I didn't have anybody teaching me about the Bible. I didn't have anybody talking to me regularly about their relationship in God and just how awesome and amazing God is and how we need God. No, I was not. I came into the knowledge of Christ when I was about 18 years old, and all I can say is that is nobody but God. My testimony is one that really describes and demonstrates that God can use anybody or anything to speak to someone's heart. So if it's somebody out there that you're praying for, have faith, trust, and believe that God can use anybody or anything to speak to people. So I was 18 years old, and for about a week or so, I was very, very scared. I mean, I had never felt this feeling ever. The only way I can describe it is you hear people like saying they felt the spirit of death, or they feel like somebody was going to die. I didn't feel like I was going to die. I just was very, very scared. At the time, I was doing a lot of illegal activity. See, I'm a little self-conscious to say exactly what that illegal activity was when I was 18 years old. So we'll just leave it at that for now. I was doing a lot of illegal stuff, and I wasn't scared like, oh, I'm about to go to jail. There's evidence, somebody could catch me. No, I don't think that, I don't think that. It's always a possibility of getting caught when you do illegal activity, though. But I wasn't necessarily scared of getting caught for what I was doing. I can't explain this feeling of fear that I had. I was just immensely scared, always looking over my shoulders. It was just with me day and night, scared, just very, very scared. And so one day I was at my sister's house, and I was in the kitchen. We were all smoking, and I went into the kitchen to grab something, and that song, you might know this song, you might not, but there was this rapper, his name was Richie Rich, and in all of his songs, he always says this hook, if you're scared, go to church, because the remix hurts. So that's one of his songs came on, and as clear as day, it was like God was talking to me in that song. I heard those lyrics, if you scared, go to church, because the remix hurts. Now remind you, I was very, very scared. So I walked out the kitchen. They were trying to pass me the blunt, and I didn't accept the blunt. I was like, I'll be back, y'all. They're like, where you going? And I told them, it's like, I'm going to church. And they all laughed at me. They laughed so hard at me. They're like, why are you going to church? Because nobody in our family went to church. So this was very, very weird. And I told them, I was like, because I'm scared. They laughed at me even harder. And another thing about this situation was, I was about 18 years old when this happened. I had graduated high school. Another thing that was, at that time, I didn't have a car. And ever since I was 16, I've always had a car. I've never not had a car. The two times that I didn't have a car, it was either broke down or, it had broke down and I needed another car, but I always had a car. So that particular time, I did not have a car. And I walked out the house, and I walked the whole neighborhood until I found a church that was open, and I found a church. And for about the next year, at least 2 to 3 times a week, I was at a different church. I had went to that church, and I remember just having this feeling of like, nope, I'm not coming back here. And I didn't go back there. Every Sunday I was definitely at a church, and during the week I was always looking for a different church to go to. And I remember it was a whole year that I was going to all these different churches, and then it was a weekday service. My friend had by that time a year passed by. I definitely had a car. I was with my friend. I remember I was with Erica, and she took me to this one church, and that was the first church where somebody had ever opened the Bible for me. All these other churches that I went to, they had never opened the Bible. And when that happened, you know, I felt like this is where I need to be. And it was Sister Haley. She opened the Bible and she showed me, you know, what was inside the Bible or how to get to where they were reading from. And at that point, I realized that I had no idea what was in the Bible. For $1 million, if somebody asked me, you know, what's in the Bible, I would have looked at them and said, you know, the 10 Commandments. And then it dawned on me, like, what is in the Bible? And I know it wasn't filled with the 10 Commandments over and over again. And that's how I came into that was when my journey with Christ started. That's when my journey with Jesus started. I was in the kitchen, I was smoking, and you know, for about a week I was feeling very, very scared. And when I heard those lyrics, I feel like it was God talking to me, and I went to church, and that's how it was. In the Bible, even talks about God speaking through various things. There's an example of God speaking through the burning bush. I've read the Bible, but it's been so long since I've been actively spending time with God. So, you know, I'm back to square one almost. Not square one completely, but definitely refreshing my knowledge of the Bible. But there is an example of God speaking through the burning bush, speaking through a burning bush to Moses. There's another example, I believe, of him speaking through a donkey. There's references of, you know, people saying that the rocks will not cry out in my place, you know, or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I just know 100% sure, you know, because it happened for me. God can use anybody and anything to speak to people's heart. I don't promote, you know, secular rap music that you know, violence, cussing, degrading people and all that. No, but I'm not here to judge anybody either, because in that example, you know, God used that song to speak to me. So again, God can use anybody and anything to speak to anyone's heart. Don't count God out. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.